Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for attending this first Galactica webinar on advanced technologies for textile and aerospace sectors, the first steps to address digitalization and the applicable technologies. Before we start this webinar, some housekeeping notes on this session. First of all, we ask all attendees to please turn off their cameras, not to overload the network connection. This session will be recorded, so if you don't wish to be identified, please edit your details to hide your name. After the presentation, we will have a Q&A slot, so you can at any time place your question on the chat, and we will address them at that slot. So first, we will do an overview of the Galactica project. So the Galactica project aims to support the creation of new industrial value chains, integrating these three sectors: textile, aerospace, and advanced manufacturing, and boosting new products and market opportunities. Galactica will facilitate the uptake of advanced manufacturing technologies as part of the digital transition of the textile and aerospace industries. The Galactica project involves 10 partners from 8 European countries. We are 8 innovation clusters, 3 clusters on the textile sector: AEI in Spain, NTT in Italy, and Ateval in Spain. 3 aerospace cluster, Corelia in Greece, Suderelb in Germany, and CTA in Spain. 2 clusters on advanced manufacturing, Produtec in Portugal and EMC2 in France. 1 investor from the ecosystem, the IBAN, and a startup ecosystem, the Science Park Grants. To foster the cooperation to the integration of these new value chains, Galactica is promoting several different activities. These webinars you are now attending, a hackathon that was launched in the beginning of February and that is now running until mid-March, an open call for proposals, and a matchmaking event. These Galactica webinars will be 10, and they are starting today and will be ongoing until April, the end of April. So the 10 webinars will have a variety of topics, foreseeing cross-fertilization opportunities in these 3 sectors, and the webinars will be both on technical and open innovation topics. So also another activity that we are undergoing, it's the Galactica call for proposals, where we will have 2 calls directed to support SMEs. The first open call will be launched next month, and it will have 1.2 million euros direct funding support. And a second call will be open in the beginning of 2022 with a budget of 1.6 million euro. Each call will have 2 funding schemes: the Pioneer Acceleration, that is for concept validation for projects up to 20K, and the Orbital, that are aimed at making and testing a functional product in the market, and the funding will be up to 100K per project. Also, another event that we are promoting to keep this cross-fertilization ongoing, it's a matchmaking event. This event will take place online on the 24th of March. You can already save this date. It will be a one-day event. If you want to, you can visit our website to access it. The registration is already open, so you can register already. In this event, we will have a plenary session to present the call for proposals. And when you register to this platform, you will be able to edit your profile and have your own marketplace where you can present your products, your solutions, ideas, expertise, and much more. All attendees will be able to invite and be invited to have B2B meetings, which is a great tool to find partners for projects and for business. Just to finish this very brief introduction, remind you that 1 week from now, on the morning of the 25th of February, we will have the second webinar of this series with an overview of technologies in textile, aerospace, and industry sectors. Now, without any further delay, we will have Antonio Almeida from Inex. I'm just trying to make him presenter. Okay, so Antonio Almeida.
Yep.
Okay. So I will just present Antonio Almeida to you. Antonio is from Inex in Portugal. He has a PhD in industrial management and is nowadays a senior researcher and business developer manager for industry at Inex. Antonio is also an invited professor at FEUP and ISEP, both schools in Porto. In the past, Antonio was a business partner analyst at Sonai Digital Channels and a principal product manager at Farfetch. Antonio is focused on added value creation through the emergent technologies adoption in companies and is passionate about building and influencing technology and R&D teams. So after this very brief introduction, welcome Antonio Almeida, the floor is yours.
Okay, Maria as well, thank you very much for your introduction. And first of all, I would like to thank Prototech and the Galactica Consortium for the invitation to be here. And also on behalf of Inex, I would like to thank you. Today, and as the challenge that was presented today, I will try to talk a little bit about some of the technologies that we have been using both in the aerospace and the textile industry. What are the challenges that we can see in both industries, and what can be the first steps, let's say, for this digitalization towards a new business model. So this is a little bit what I would like to present today in my session. I would like just to guarantee that I'm not an expert on textile and in aerospace, but what we do is apply digital technologies for different industries, and for sure these two are special industry for us, and we have been exploring in different contexts and as much as possible. So I will not lose so much more time. So my name is Antonio. I'm a business development manager in Inex. Here is my email, and right now I'm working also in Tech for Industry. That is the window from Inex for the industry sector. So what is Inex? So for the ones that don't know us, so Inex we are a private but non-profitable research institution dedicated to scientific research and technological development. We operate between the academia and the companies. So this is, let's say, our spot, and our objective is not only to do research of excellence, but also to provide added value to the society in order to provide knowledge, in order to provide technology, and doing the right transfer of technology to the industry, so that we can, let's say, bridge the gap between these two worlds that sometimes is not well defined. So we intend to be this middleware that promotes let's say in the industry and create competitiveness in the industry, considering the technology and the knowledge that we develop. So the approach that we follow internally is a push and pull strategy. So in one hand, we have what we call clusters of research centers that build And according to a multidisciplinary environment, they build resources, they build knowledge and technology that can then be taken to the industry. And then we have services like TechForce, as the one that I mentioned. So I belong to Tech for Industry, where we try to understand what is happening in the industry, and then we try to help to define in the research part what is necessary to follow, what are the trends that we need to explore, and what is the research that we need to do. So this is how we work internally, and with some success until now. Only one point. So internally, we have 13 research centers. They are divided in 4 clusters. So we have the network intelligence systems, power and energy, industry and innovation, and computer science. In fact, for my side, I belong also to a research center in the industry and innovation lab, so more related to the industry, to the innovation and application of digital technologies in industry. So this is one of our major missions, but of course, dealing with the other research centers. On the other hand, from the industry side, we also have not only Tech for Industry, so that window for the industry, for the market, but also we have Tech for C, more related to the C, Tech for Media, Tech for Energy, Tech for Health, and Tech for Agro-Food. Regarding our, let's say, the internationalization of Inex Tech, so we are the major research center in the north of Portugal, but with more than 800 researchers today. But we also have connections with important partners abroad. So from a research perspective, we have partnerships with MIT, UT Austin, CMU. So we do research together, we do projects together. We have innovative partnerships with very important companies such as IKEA, EFASEC, Continental, Bosch, and so on. So there are very critical key players for us to apply the technology to test and develop. From a European perspective, we work with some of the most important European institutions like EFRA. We belong to EFRA, and also, for example, we AT Manufacturing, where we are a partner, and we explore new technologies together with with other Portuguese companies, or not only Portuguese, but with companies, startups, and scale-up companies that wants to apply technology and demonstrate the application of technologies in the industry. So in terms of research lines, I would like to, so as I mentioned before, these are the ones that we try to follow in terms of industry. So what is this about sustainable production systems, digital transformation in industry, innovation technology management, and industrial robotics? But to do that, of course, we apply the technology that are developed by the other clusters. But this one is, let's say, the most with the most application in industry. What do we talk about when we talk about sustainable production systems? So the first of all is improve the productivity, improve the efficiency of the production systems, using analytics and autonomous systems as a backbone for decision support system. Then we have digital transformation in industry. So this is a key point for us. The application of IoT-based architectures for asset management, collaborative network design, multidimensional performance management. So all of that we have been exploring with industry for a long time. Industrial robotics, so how to strengthen the collaboration between human and robots, and how to apply robotics in automation, in flexible automation for industry. And then we have a very important area related with the innovation management. So how we can support companies to evolve and to understand how to apply technology in the best way. I would like to share with you here a video about so one of our
the manufacturing sector
one of
has
our
evolved
recent
over the decades,
innovations,
constantly adapting to fulfill the needs of economy and society. In its Industry and Innovation Lab, The II Lab, Inex Tech, aims to disclose the state-of-the-art in advanced production technologies, thus contributing to the industry's smart, sustainable and technology-based growth. Created in 2019 and headquartered in Porto, Portugal, the II Lab is a space for demonstration of research, experimentation, validation of new concepts and advanced training. The lab supports technology-based innovation in public and private organizations, thus enhancing their skills in the development, adoption and implementation of advanced production technologies. II Lab showcases a wide range of technologies such as mobile robotics, industrial vision systems, simulation, business intelligence and decision support systems, cyber-physical systems and Internet of Things. The lab provides a controlled, near-industrial test environment with production simulators, collaborative manipulators, cargo transport robots and IoT platforms. The technological demonstrators installed in the II Lab are transferred to different industrial sectors such as automotive, aeronautics, machinery, metalworking, textile, footwear and logistics. II Lab also provides professional training in digital transformation management and advanced production technologies for senior managers and engineers of manufacturing companies and technology providers. A specialized and experienced multidisciplinary team provides counseling to companies in order to support their digital transition and development of new and customized solutions. The laboratory works in close collaboration with other national and international initiatives, such as National European Digital Innovation Hubs and EIT manufacturing, in order to spread digitization technologies across all industrial sectors in the region, thus accelerating the development of new industrial technologies and maximizing its impact, promoting the digital transformation and competitiveness of manufacturing companies.
So concerning and considering that more and more SMEs companies, they need support to this kind of implementations, we see this as a huge opportunity for the Portuguese companies so that we can test and see technology in almost real scenarios. So this is one of our greatest investments right now to bring this to our region. So now let's focus a little bit on the advanced technologies for textile industry. So from our perspective and what we see from textile industry, so we see this as a very diverse industry. What is good because it provides a lot of opportunities, ranging from fashion to interior design, healthcare, or even automotive industries. So this is in fact a huge opportunity to apply different kind of technologies depending on the markets that we are operating. And we also see that today the customer expectations are changing. So today people are looking at customers, they are looking for high quality products, and sometimes they expect to receive service. They expect to receive an experience that is good, and they can that they can share with their colleagues through social networks and so on. So this create an opportunity to evolve, to change, to introduce new technologies, to introduce new techniques to do this production, from 3D printing and to other technologies that can address this smart factories concept, more intelligent and agile logistic services. And this is a huge amount of opportunities within this kind of sector. So what I would like to share with you right now is that the number of opportunities that we see with the digital transformation for the fashion and the textile industry. The first thing is the new business models. This is an information about José Neves. So José Neves is the CEO from Farfetch. Farfetch is today one of the main companies in terms of fashion industry, luxury fashion industry. And as you can see here in this website, so what they are saying is that José Neves became the most powerful man in fashion. And why he became the most powerful man in fashion? Because he thought that the digital transformation could change the business. And he has been putting money and the effort to do that. And today, the company achieved a significant position. So he changed the business, the way how the business was been doing, providing new business models, providing new services, and this was a success in terms of the new business model that can be created with and within digital transformation, if of course well planned and well defined. The other thing, and this is a project where Inex was involved with, together with Creative Systems, it was the application of RFID solutions within the store to create new customer experience. The objective here was to collect data about how the customers interact with the products within the store and how we could provide experiences to the customer within the store. So this was done within the shoe industry, and with a company that is Fly London. And basically, considering the RFID technology, the system was able to understand what the customer was dressing and put the customer within a specific context and create an environment that can promote the sell. So this is an immersive approach to deal and to create a new experience with this. Most of all, we could also collect what was the reaction of the customer related to that product. So we can also collect data that can be used, as we will see after, to take decisions and to improve the logistics, the supply chain, and also the product design. The other point that for us is critical in this industry, and we believe that also can take advantage from the digital transformation, is the sustainability and the impacts that it can have in the system. So sorry. So today, what we see is that the textile industry is the fourth highest pressure category for the use of primary raw materials and water, and fifth for greenhouse gas emission. So this puts this kind of, and considering the Green Deal environment that we have today, all the deals that we have been doing all around the world to be more sustainable, to reduce our impact in the environment. So this kind of industry is seriously pressured to demonstrate that he can produce products in a more sustainable way, using circular economy and using bio-based textile value chains. So this is for sure a challenge that this industry will face. So how we can develop new fibers and take advantage from renewable and local sources, for example, as forestry biomass, to promote new type of raw material through innovative processes, production processes, how we can apply ICT tools to promote more eco-design methodologies, and how we can use ICT also to improve transparency and the traceability of our value chains. Then how we can use and what kind of processes, industrial processes you can use to take advantage from these bio-based components, and how we can take advantage from technology, also from digital transformation, to improve the way how we collect the fabrics at the end of life, in order to give them a second opportunity, and in order to promote the circular economy and promote the recyclability of these products. So the digital transformation can support on these phases, and we are happy that we were invited recently to participate in a project from with CITEV, that is a national cluster in textile, to work on this kind of challenges. So we see this is a huge opportunity. The other point that we think that can also take advantage from the digital transformation is the smart textiles and smart products. So these are new types of textiles that are able to create stimuli from the environment, and to create to react and to adapt to the environments that they can collect and they can receive. We see that there are different kind of smart textiles, but what I would like to show to you is that this new capability from the digital transformation make us able to produce new types of services. So we can go through, from a tangible and effective product to an intangible set of services that we can start providing using this kind of technologies. So as I said, as I'm saying, so we can now work, the textile developers with the technology companies, with the service providers. They can work together not only to provide a cloth, but also to provide new types of smart textile services that can be used in different areas, in the healthcare, in the sports, in the in different in aerospace, so in different domains. An interesting company that I found was this MyHunt from Canada. So basically, from what I could see is that they create a platform where they can integrate both these different stakeholders to promote new type of products, to promote new type of services in a collaborative way. And here they can take advantage from the textiles to calculate important variables like pressure, like the temperature, the respiration. So they can take important variables from the human body or from the environment and use this to promote new services. And of course, then apply this to different kind of scenarios. They can apply this, for example, for the protective applications. In industry, this is very important. So we can see for an operator that is in a very risky environment or in a very risky situation, we can help, we can use this to prevent problems with the operator. We can improve the quality because we can see how the operator is performing. So we can get data that can help us to take decisions in a more proactive time, and of course save lives in certain circumstances, and improve quality because we can guarantee that the operator is working in the right conditions. One example that it comes in my mind was the SpaceX mission that we had before. So although this is not so expensive, so normal, but what we could get is that this kind of suits, they were an extension of the aircraft, so they could manage everything, and this second skin of the people is very important, so that we can collect the data from them and we can take decisions and from the earth. So these kind of applications can be very interesting and make the connection with the aerospace domain. So you can see how these two markets and the value chains can work together to provide new technology, to provide new services to different kinds of markets. Another point that we also we are exploring is the digital transformation in the value chain visibility. We see that one of the major and more recognized brands in the domain, so Zara from the Inditex group, they have a success story. They have a very successful business model. And why this is happening? One of the reasons, of course, maybe not the only one, but one of the reasons is that capability, that flexibility to adapt to the needs of their customers, depending on the regions, depending on the areas, and be very flexible in the way how they put new products in the market to keep competitive. So this kind of integration between from, let's say, the stores, the feedback that they create from the stores to the production side, to the design of the products, and the capability to produce small batches, the capability to have a very agile logistics. Everything is important, and they can only do that because they have visibility over the entire value chain. And this is a case of success where it is possible to see how the digital transformation for the value chain visibility is so important. Also in Inex, we have been working on this kind of topics and with these kind of challenges in different perspectives. One of the projects that we did was FASTCOM, so Fashion Cognizant Manufacturing. So basically the idea was that based on the technology that I showed before in terms of RFID and other technologies, we could collect the data from the store about where the product is located, where the customer is located, using geo-referenced recommendations, and then also assist or have some kind of technological support to the store assistant, so that they can also interact with the customer in a more effective way. And then this not only provides a different experience to the customer, but it will also support us to collect the data from the store. And then using big data, using artificial intelligence technologies, and so on, we can extract important information, we can extract knowledge that then can go and can feedback the production stage and also the design stage. And with that, we create this positive loop where we continuously understand what is, so this customer centricity that we normally want to follow, and try to guarantee that we can follow the customer needs. However, not only the product needs to be affected with this revolution, also our production lines need to be affected. One of them, for example, was we did this in the shoe industry. The project was the Smart SL. And of course, with the need to be more custom, with the need from the customers to have more customized products, so to decrease the size of the series of the batch that you need to produce, the challenge is, okay, how I can keep efficient, and how I can have a supply chain that can help me to produce customized shoes. So this was the challenge. So the approach was to automate the factory, exploring technologies as logistics to plan, as simulation, to plan the logistics, to plan the operations, to plan the layout, and then balance the production lines using meteoristics and a web interface, so that people could control and could monitor what was happening in shop floor. So this was very key to this company, to Kiaya, to produce this factory where they could produce customized shoes in very small series, reduction of turnover time by 50 to 20%, and increased production capacity to 10 to 15%. So it is important to show that not only the product and services that we can offer to the customer change, but also the way how you produce it. Another example is the technologies that we can produce. So this is just an example that using 3D printing technologies is also available for this kind of approach. So we can reduce the dependencies from the human labor. We can be more. We can increase automation in the processes, and of course put the kind of production in different areas, and create new products with new characteristics that can be used also in different markets. So using this kind of, let's say, what we call additive manufacturing, can create new kind of products that can be important for the industry. So as a takeaway, what about the textile industry? What we can see here, we can see that it is very critical in order to achieve with success this Industry 4.0 in this industry. It is very interesting and very important to have a clear mission about what we want to do, what is the mission, what is the strategy of the company, and what kind of digital transformation, and this then will lead to digital transformation that I need to lead. Then the importance of data. So the textile industry generates a lot of data, and companies that want to be competitive, they need to be clever in the way how they will manage this data, using not only artificial intelligence, but different kind of approach to deal with this data. Then the other point is that executives must promote the change. So this is something that should be top down. This is something that should be a mission, a vision from the company, as I said before. So it should be defined by the CEO and together with the executive board. And this should have impact on the overall organization, from the organizational perspective to the people perspective, the people and skills, human resources. So and business model. So every domains must be affected and must be explored if we want to be successful in the Industry 4.0 implementation. And finally, the product standardization is not an answer right now. So this topic about customer centricity, the capacity to produce small series in small batch with in efficient way is key, so that we can implement these these new approaches within the textile industry. So customization and focus on the customer needs. So as you said before, this connection and the textile industry is very well connected with the other industries, and the aerospace is in fact one of them. So this connection here that the Galactica project want to explore is very key and is very important to be explored. And in our perspective, there are a lot of opportunities. About the aerospace defense, how we see this. So it is interesting to see from work from Deloitte in 2 years ago, that's a survey that was conducted by Deloitte about the current state of Industry 4.0. They see that 84% of the executives say that they consider leveraging new digital technologies. However, only a quarter of these companies are currently using these technologies. So what we see is that even in a very advanced industries, we see some difficulties to implement this kind of technologies and to use it in an effective way to take decisions in real time. If you look to some data from IDC from 2015, we see that they already was predicting that until 2020, 75% of the companies would be digital. Okay, so or at least will have ongoing digital transformation initiatives. However, only 30% will be succeeded. So it was already identified that a small number will be succeeded due to the lack of specialized talents. And also sometimes what we understand is that not only because of the talent, but also the leadership sometimes is not aware and is not don't have the knowledge and the experience about how I can use technologies, the emergent technologies in the Industry 4.0, and how I can use it, how I can combine technology to provide something new. So this is something that may affect, in fact, the success. And then from this almost small number, only 78% will not have 78% will not have the capacity to manage and transform their processes in a transversal way. So what sometimes we see is that they apply the technology in a specific domain, in a demonstrator or in a pilot, but then they cannot scale up its application. So this is some numbers that it's important to highlight, because there are a lot of opportunities to explore this, since the creation of new products and new services. So how I can smart products in this kind of industry, and how I can provide services over this product. So what we call it as servitization. Then topics related with how I can engage with my customer and have more success in the market side. And then having a more intelligent asset management, so I can manage my production system in a more effective way. So even in the aerospace defense, we can find these opportunities. And very interesting image that I found is that this kind of digital transformation is not only occurring at the product side or at the manufacturing side. It covers the entire value chain. So from the moment that we start planning and interacting with our customer to design and to sell an order, using technologies as 3D printing for prototyping, using virtualization and simulation based on augmented reality and virtual reality. So this is a very real opportunity already, using and taking advantage from high performance computing capabilities that today make this more likely to happen. And of course, this can be supported by digital twin technologies, where we can, let's say, manage in a better way in a digital thread. We can build our products and then streamline the connection with the production site, using then the information from this product to lead the production. Then in the manufacturing side, we have technology that can help us in the quality analysis, in the integration and data management, and also to have this visibility about the supply chain and manage the production sites. We can take advantage from technologies as IoT. We can have and also vertical integration to promote data interoperability and data interoperability, and use this data to promote more intelligent and effective planning of operations and processes to improve our effectiveness, and also have predictability about our production system. So this can be, let's say, some of the opportunities within the manufacturing side, where also the digital twin of the process is essential. And then all the services that we can provide after the sell and aftermarket. So the number of services and new business models that you can create after the sell, improve the relation with our customers, be more customized even in this kind of communication, get information from our products that are performing in real time, and with that promote new services, and of course this set of opportunities, they need to be sustained by cybersecurity systems that provide that all the data is managed in a trust and secure way, using information management platform so that you can manage in the correct way the massive data of information that we will promote, empower employees so that they can also be cognitive capable to produce different kind of products with different characteristics, with different perspectives from one moment to another, and use augmented reality and virtual reality to help them. And these are, let's say, important topics and opportunities that we can see in these sectors. This is a project that we did with Embraer and Tyson Group within a European project. And the objective was to build an IoT platform where we could collect data from different robots and from different production lines resources. And then, using this information, we could create in real time a simulation environment, taking as a starting point the reality. So we could build and put the simulation synchronized with the reality, and then try to test different different opportunities or different scenarios, so that we could test it and validate it within a simulation environment, and then deploy it to the shop floor. So this, let's say, circular loop, we were able to test and demonstrate that within this European project. So basically, as you can see, this robot, this robot that is also developed by Inex, here you have the digital twin, so we can have in real time what is happening, and then we have some KPIs that are calculated so that you can see if the tasks are being performing as expected, and then at the end of the day, change the production orders if necessary, and take actions over the production line. So this kind of solutions, it can help the decision maker not only to have visibility and transparency about what he's doing, but also be able to adapt the production system to cope with changes. Another project that we did also within a European project that is scalable is use the collaboration between the robots and humans, and taking advantage from augmented reality to build, in this case, to assemble an engine. So normally these are complex operations that requires a very expertise people to do that. But using this kind of approach, we cannot not only have the robot to do stuff that sometimes is more difficult and more heavy, but have people doing more precise things, but with instructions from the automation system. So this kind of collaboration is very important. But of course, this should be safe. That's the reason why you have these colors. So right now the robot is saying that, okay, you can operate here, but right now I'm operating in this side, so it is red, so don't come to my place. So in this case, we can have these two operators, the human and the robot, operating together and building an engine. And with that, the operator don't need to know exactly how to build every kind of engines, but he can, but we will be, let's say, instructed by the system to do that. The other project that we have also been working is in collaboration with Renault and the Textiles and Aerospace, is working with a robotic system that can screw within complex, let's say, and difficult environments. So in this case, this robot that was also built and developed by us. In this case, this is a robotic arm with an AGV. He can go to this place where normally these kind of tasks are performed by humans, and screw within very complex and difficult situations. So here we can have these kind of operations in a secure way. So it's very agile, very flexible, and it can reduce this kind of this kind of tasks that don't apply a lot of added value but need to be done. We can take humans from this kind of operations and put in other that can promote and can give more added value to the business. So this kind of evolution is also important in different domains where we want to create more personalized and customized environments. Of course, just to show you that this need to okay, I don't have here in this image, but this kind of robot, it reacts to humans. So if someone appears, as you see right now, the robot stops, so it can in certain way they can also collaborate together. So what we'd like to say is that technology is here and it can help us in this new revolution within industry, and it can help us to bring different value chains. However, there are some barriers to this success. So we see that some companies believe that the Industry 4.0 is the application of technology, and then this will create new business models and strategies. And in our perspective, this is not correct. So companies should be able to define very well what are their strategy, should be defined very well what is this mission and how they want to cope in the market, and then select technology that can help them to implement that, and start small with some demos, with some pilots, what sometimes we call some POCs, so some proof of concepts, and try to demonstrate try to demonstrate if this kind of technology will help me to achieve my objectives. Because at the end of the day, what we want is to increase the return of investment. We don't want to implement technology. We want to increase the return of investment. So this is our final objective. From the beginning, this roadmap is very well defined. I think that we are following this in a very effective way. So we have. So this was the beginning of the image. Today, as you can see, we already have some midterm industry use cases, okay, driven by technology and pilot solutions. We see that this happening. We see also some companies coming to the market with very important solutions, leading the interconnectivity between solutions, between the technologies, and building this kind of ecosystems aligned with the Industry 4.0 paradigm. And so we think that by 2025, this will be a reality. So we hope that in 2030, we can achieve a true transition to the Industry 4.0, where the entire product and factory life cycle come together in a holistic and an integrated way. To do that, for example, and internally in Estec is preparing, and based on the lab that I showed at the beginning, we are promoting different kind of services, not only consultancy services but also training services. One of them is application of a digital transformation maturity. We do that with a lot of companies, from the large companies and even small companies. We have been applying this methodology divided in 4 steps. First of all is the maturity assessment. So here we will try to understand how the organization is performing in different domains, from the organizational perspective, social perspective, technology perspective, and so on. Then we help the organization to define their organization. Try to define how the organization should be able to comply with, let's say, this new Industry 4.0 paradigm. And then, based on the mission, based on strategy from the company, we help them to plan, so what we call the roadmap definition for the technology application. So this is the third step. And then fourth, we normally support this roadmap implementation. It can take more than 1 year. And due to this reason, this should be an iterative process. That's the reason why we should, 1 year after, evaluate the maturity, see if everything evolved as expected, define the new change on the organization that are necessary, and do this in an iterative way. So this kind of services, this is something that we have been working, and we believe that it is critical, even mainly for SMEs, to be able to follow this kind of digital transformation in an effective and efficient way. Why? Because this is what we want at the end of the day. So we see that a lot of companies, they are still in the Industry 3.0. What this means? This means that they already have systems. They already have automation. So in fact, the tasks is automated, but some of them are still or can be connected. So okay, they are automated, and we can also see connectivity. But then this is not enough. What we want to see in the Industry 4.0 is that if decision makers can have visibility about what is happening. So although I have a lot of data, sometimes I cannot take decisions. I cannot see what is happening. So the first step is, okay, I have visibility. I can see what is happening. The other one is the transparency. Second level is transparency. So why this is happening? So I can go to the root causes and understand why this is happening. Then is predictability. Is saying, okay, so what will happen if I do something? What will happen if I don't do anything? So the capability to understand how the system will perform. And then at the end of the day, the adaptability. So how and take action over the production system and adapt the company to the new environment that we want to have. So these are, let's say, the flows that we believe that with this kind of technology that I mentioned before, with the challenge that I mentioned before, and of course with this kind of methodology that can lead companies to take the right decisions, that's what we can achieve in 2030 for we hope with a lot of companies. So this was my presentation. Thank you very much, and of course I'm available to answer to your questions.
Thank you, Antonio, for a very clear and comprehensive presentation. Until now, our attendees are very shy. We had a question if the webinar was going to be online and where, but we don't got any questions here in the chat. I don't know, maybe if someone wants to make you a question now. Normally when we say these questions pop up. Meanwhile, let me, you already gave here some teasers and ideas regarding some cross-sectoral projects and products that you and Inex were involved, and can be inspiring for the companies that will be applying to our open call for proposals. Some of the ideas here can trigger some new projects, some new ideas. I have here a question on the chat asking if we gave some information on the call for proposals during this webinar. Yes, we just gave the basic information that it's on our website. That is the date for the release of the calls and the two types of funding schemes. The call for proposals will be open in mid-March, and we will have a matchmaking event on the 24th of March, where we will have a webinar presenting the call. So, Antonio, do you have any, as we don't have any more questions, is there any final remark or some final comments you would like to give to our attendees, maybe to inspire them in besides thinking this approach, also to have new thinkings for these call for proposals?
Yeah, I think that so as I said before, I think that these two industries, they will be they are very connected. I think that these kind of open calls can stimulate the opportunities for new business models that can occur within these three value chains. So the application of technology and to evolve the textile industry so that it can provide the new products, new opportunities to the aerospace industry. I think that there are a lot of opportunities, starting from the smart products, as I mentioned, and the smart textile, as I mentioned before, building new platforms, digital platforms that can provide new services and generate data that can be important for decision making. So, well, I think that from the product perspective until the production perspective, let's say, I was recently discussing with a Portuguese company from the textile industry that was telling me that today one of their major challenge was to increase their capability to monitor the production systems, to increase transparency, increasing the capability to collect data and to process this data to understand what is happening, how it's happening, because the new customers is demanding this kind of information, the visibility over the value chain, the traceability and the traceability of the products in a context where more and more the customer is more aware of the sustainable production and sustainable production of raw materials and so on. So these kind of topics will be key in the future, and I think that the companies that don't have this that need to invest in these kind of technologies so that they can be able to cope with these challenges in the future. So this is what our partners tell us. And I think that the technology and digital transformation can change a lot the environment.
Very well. I think we don't have any further questions, so means we were very clear. I would just like to remind everyone that this was the first of a series of 10 webinars that we will have under the Galactica project. We will have the second one will be a week from now. You can find more information on this on our website, galacticaproject.eu. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and we hope to see you 1 week from now. Antonio, thank you so much for your presentation, and
thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.